I talked to one farmer to see how the lack of rain is affecting everything from barges to power plants.
We always bank on a drought 1 out of 10 years. Now, it's oddly enough, 2012 was our last major drought, and here we are 10 years to the date later.
Andy Clay's family has been farming corn, soybeans, and raising cattle along the Missouri River bottom in Montauk County for more than 200 years, seeing their fair share of unrelenting dry conditions and flooding. A wet and cold spring forced a late plant, but by July, Clay says they started feeding livestock hay almost 4 months earlier than normal. The lack of rain has been a problem across much of the country, with about 63% of the lower 48 in drought conditions heading into the first week of November.
It is very concerning. Really the barge traffic is our biggest concern from our input costs, being able to get fertilizer in this time of year at harvest, trying to get our grain shipped out. We're starting to see some real concerns and issues about that, and if we do not start either having water released or getting rainfalls to where we can keep the product moving, it's going to become a big issue.
River levels across the Midwest have been at their lowest in the last several years, and across Missouri, we've been in some kind of drought conditions since the middle of June. At last check, water levels on the Mississippi and Missouri rivers have been close to low stage marks, under 6 feet in some areas. National Weather Service hydrologist Mark Fuchs says water flow along the Missouri River between Jefferson City and St. Charles has been in the bottom 20% of normal this fall.
Typically, the lowest flows on the Mississippi at St. Louis are reached between December and February, and we see a lot of them around the first of the year or in early January. So something we'll be keeping an eye on as far as barge traffic, particularly, but also other concerns like utilities, power companies, and water plants withdrawing out of both the Missouri and the Mississippi in the months ahead.
Climate Central reports Missouri has a medium drought vulnerability, weighing how prone the state is to drought and whether it's prepared for the impacts. Mark Fuchs says over the last 20 years we've seen severe droughts, but the duration is shorter. On the other hand, this part of the country has seen more significant flash flooding events over the same time frame. Projects like the upcoming Roy Blunt Reservoir in northern Missouri could help with the water supply during unusually dry years.
And this is certainly one of the areas of the state that, whether you're looking at 2012 or 2018, where we really saw the impacts of drought. And so particularly when you get north of the Missouri River in Missouri, we rely so much on surface water reservoirs for that water supply.
The Climate Prediction Center is tracking continued drought with some improvement over our area through the end of January, but much of the country will only get drier.
It's just out of our control. Mother Nature always trumps all.